Greetings from Russia. This will show you the other side of the story concerning Russia and international politics. Why is Russia so worried about the NATO and US policies in Europe and around the globe? There are two main reasons for Russia to feel paranoid. One is predatory and aggressive nature of the NATO. Second, the imperialist making of the US, its urge to stay one and only superpower at all costs. Some background on the NATO. After World War II in 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization came into existence to counter potential threat of Soviet Union expansion. Now historians are sure Joseph Stalin didn't plan an invasion of Western Europe, simply because his country was devastated by havoc brought by Nazi Germany. However, Great Britain and the US had a well-defined defensive plan, so-called Operation Unthinkable, to hit the USSR first. Mind you, such was a plan for a nation that sacrificed and fought the most to rid the world of Hitler. In 1947, Winston Churchill came to the US and begged American officials to nuke Russia. Just like that, nuke them all Russians. So you see, even back then we had more reasons to feel threatened than you had. The Warsaw Pact to counter NATO was only formed 6 years later in 1955. So, arguably, it was the West that initiated Cold War, not us, because we were in ruins and couldn't really afford such endeavor. The NATO is a war monster, comprising 70% of all military spendings in the world. It's like feeding the beast. Looking back, you can see DNA of the treaty organization. It was never meant to protect and defend the homeland. It was meant to attack and strike. Presently, NATO had shown its true colors via airstrikes in Kosovo in 1998, unlawful strike because the UN never authorized them. There was an invasion of Iraq in 2003, started under false pretense. Over 1.2 million deaths as a result. If not for blood cravings of NATO war machine, none of that would have happened. So why exactly are Russians so worried about NATO? Because the most aggressive and most powerful military organization in the world has been surrounding us with new bases for more than 20 years now. They can't do anything to us yet because of our nuclear weapons, but future technologies may change things. That's why we're forced to push now. That's why we had to draw lines in Georgia and Ukraine. Now about the US. Should Russia feel relaxed on account of this international partner? Not in the world we live in now. Currently, the US is a waning superpower. Last year, it has been overshadowed economically by China in triple P calculations, and its foreign debt is overwhelming. It still has power to drive innovations, project military might, and manipulate global public opinion. But that is not enough to stay uncontested. Not anymore. How do you stay up in such situations? You build a new world order, one that suits you better. Just like 100 years ago, when Great War was started over spheres of influence, colonies and their natural resources. And guess who is sitting on the biggest landmass with most raw materials reserves in the world? We do. Probably for the US, the only real way to get an upper hand over China is to get control over Russia. In view of that, we in Russia have very strong suspicions all these Arab Springs and Maidans in Ukraine were CIA-inspired rehearsal of what Uncle Sam may have in store for us. We don't think the US will give up their position as a global leader quietly. In all probability, Washington elite is going to come up with some nasty tricks for Russia. If I may offer an alternative, maybe for you in the US it's better to get more socialist. I mean, and same goes to us in Russia, make your rich share. That's the fastest way to increase your standards of living, really. Next episode will be on why is Russia involved in the Middle East. Name is Vadim Avin, always try and get second opinion, trust facts and think independently.